I'm really lucky to live right on the Birmingham Canal network. So during my 30-minute exercise, I'm going to take you exploring with me. And along the way, we're going to learn some unique and interesting facts. So while you're staying inside, let me bring you some of the outside. Let's go. I don't really have to go any further. Really? Right, let's go. Oh, right, we finally made it. Here we are at one of Birmingham's canals. But what is a canal? Well, it's like a river, but it's made by humans. A river is made entirely by nature, water flowing down mountains, through fields. But come and take a look at this. With a canal, we've got big, strong brick walls. Look at this tunnel, made in 1884. Big tunnel there. That wasn't made by nature, that was made by humans. But the way a canal is similar to rivers is that it's got fresh water, which means it's not salty like what you'd find in the sea. And if you've ever been to Weston-super-Mare, you'll know what I mean. And also, like lakes and rivers in the sea, water can be dangerous. So never go near the edge without an adult, because if you fall in there, it's very deep water and you'll get in trouble if you can't swim. But there's another reason why you probably wouldn't want to swim in these waters. Take a look at my lovely water sample. Lovely, look at all that. Not very clean. So I tell you what, I would much prefer a swimming pool. Another thing with the canal is the water is always lovely, calm and still. The water's like a mirror today on a nice sunny day like this. Can you see any big choppy waves in the water? Can you see any big crashing waterfalls or any big swirling currents in the water? Well, no you can't, because there aren't any. And that makes it perfect for boats to travel down. Almost 250 years ago, in 1772, the Birmingham canals started to be built. And if you look at the old canal boats on the canal, you can see on this picture they used to be pulled by horses and not with an engine. The old boats used to carry coal to factories all around Birmingham. They also used to carry things like iron, which is a really strong metal, and bricks to build buildings. Look at this old footage here, with a slow canal boat going up the canal. Hundreds of years ago, this was the best way of getting products all around Birmingham, because there was no other quicker transport. If you've been to the Black Country Museum, you may have seen old canal boats like the ones in the video. Here is an old picture of a train in 1980. It's full of coal and it's ready to travel all across England. There was no need for canals anymore because trains were cheaper and so much quicker. So it's easy to see why the Birmingham canals weren't needed anymore. They weren't closed completely though, because now people like to travel up and down the canals in colourful boats like this one, just for fun. Inside these boats are kitchens, bedrooms, bathrooms and a living room. Look at the inside of this canal boat. It looks like a really fancy house. But here's the interesting part. Some people actually live on these boats. Not just for a day, not just for a week, but every single day of the year. Imagine that. You'd be by the lovely nature, the peacefulness of the canal and all the animals. But there are some not so good things about it. Because you're always moving, it's quite tricky to get Wi-Fi, so you're always going to be using your mobile data. Also, depending on where you park, you might not be near many shops, so you can't just pop out for a bit of milk, and you certainly won't be able to get a Dixie's. Lastly as well, you can't stay in the same place for too long. So you're going to be constantly moving around the canals. So not only is your house floating on the water all the time, but you're always going to be somewhere new. Now it's time for 5 of Mr. Power's the points of Mr. 5 of Mr. Power's points of Mr. Power. Forget it, just roll the picture. Here are 5 of Mr. Power's points. Birmingham is the city with the most canals in the whole of the UK. Go Birmingham! Canal boats travel at about 4 miles per hour. That's about walking pace, so don't think you'll be getting anywhere too quickly. A person who enjoys being near and watching the canals is known as a gongoozler. Gongoozler. Well, I guess you and me right now are gongoozlers. I bet you've never heard that sentence before. I mentioned earlier that canal boats are like floating houses, but there's one little difference. Your toilet doesn't flush like it would in a house, and all the waste from the toilet goes into a nice big bucket underneath. Oh, and by the way, you have to empty it yourself. And don't just think about pouring all that smelly waste into the water, because that would be illegal. This is a lock, L-O-C-K, but this is also a type of lock. They're both spelt the same, but they're both very different things. In the English language, we call that a homonym. 2 words that are spelt the same, but are different things. Now, this kind of lock is like a giant door which opens. It lets water fill up and drain out, a bit like a big sink. Now, earlier in the video, I said the canals are smooth and level, except for in a lock. Here, you can take your boat uphill and downhill. Cool fact. Now we know what the outside of these boats look like, let's take a look on the inside, because that's where you'll be spending most of your time. Pause the video if you like while we take a look at the interesting interiors. Now I'm sure this kitchen and living room is very different to the ones in your house, but look for similar things that you have in your home. I can see a kettle, I can see a sink, I can see a table, and on the side there's some nice seats to sit with the family. Now this one is a lot more colourful. There are lots of things to look at here. Maybe pause the video and see all the little details around this boat. Now let's move on to the bedroom and look at this one with a big double bed. And out of that window at the back you can see nature all around you. Moving on to the bathroom, there are lots of familiar things in here. You've got a sink, a mirror, there's a place to hang your towels and a toilet. But remember my earlier fact about toilets on canal boats. Here's another part of the bathroom, and think of how it's different to your house. Maybe you have a bath instead of a shower, and maybe your bathroom doesn't have a window. There are even places like this one behind me, where you can pay a price and park up your boat. A bit like a hotel, but for boats. And in return, you can buy some food, you might be able to do your laundry, and even empty your toilet. Lucky you. Of course though, at the moment, people are staying inside their boats to stay safe and healthy. So, I hope you've enjoyed exploring with me on my first video. And like I said at the beginning, we've learned some unique and interesting facts. So, why not see how much you've learned by taking my online quiz? Go to tiny.cc/Mr. Power Explore and see if you can get all the questions correct. Remember to keep on checking Clifton's Twitter, Clifton's YouTube, and the new YouTube channel, The World Around You, where myself, Mrs. Osborne-Bria, and Mr. Sawyer will be bringing you lots of videos all about our world. So, remember to stay safe inside while I bring you some of the outside. I'll be bringing you some of the outside. Have you turned the recording off? Did that look really cool when I put my hand over the lens?
No.
Oh, well, Okay, just cut it here then.